I'm dead before I said let's fight!
No! That's impossible!
By the way.
BT Dubs is BTW. I'm gonna bust you up! Nope, I'm not coming down. Where am I? Help! Milk! Chance got $5.
The champ got 5 on it.
Back where it came from.
Go back where he came.
Ah, here we go. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Go fast enough.
Oh, I tried to go in jump low. Don't for me.
Wow! One leg, you coward! Oh no, I should have done that.
Perfect transition. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the 29th episode of the first to what, Meshy?
50 podcast.
Nice. You had him on the edge of their chair. That's why you're the heroine of hype men. The verse to 50
I
podcast.
thought you were gonna say podcast.
No. I was giving you the second half of it.
Oh,
Kind of like shared custody of this podcast, you know. Except we only get to see it on the weekends at the same time, so it brings us in the room together. But we have to look at each other.
It's family time.
It's family time. This is a podcast where we talk about video game stuff, movies that we watch, basically everything that we do on a weekly basis because we want to talk about it. Or I want to talk about it. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I have some real trauma to get out.
Ooh. It's like The View, but with two old men. They talk about trauma, right?
Yeah,
I've never watched Whoopi Goldberg and the other ladies talk about viewing things or whatever they do. Do the kids know about The View?
Yeah, I'm sure they know about The View.
Do they know about Whoopi? She's got no eyebrows.
All I know about Whoopi is that she played a Star Trek character and a nun in that one movie.
I was going to say the Yaya Sisterhood, but I think that was the Traveling Pants.
Yeah, that's the Traveling Pants.
But she was the bartender in, was it Deep Space Nine?
No, she was the bartender in just Star Trek Next Generation. Guinan.
Back to the out nerd of me. She had guest appearances on Deep Space Nine, didn't she?
I don't actually remember if she's in Deep Space Nine at all. She kind of gets around.
Oh. Hardlet. Anyways, where was I?
It's mostly Ferengi in there.
Those ears, man. Those ears.
Their frontal lobes.
Anyways, we're gonna start with our I won't stand for it. We're gonna start with our weekly updates, and I've been playing some video games this week, Meshy.
Oh yeah,
I'm
how unusual.
I'm gonna proceed to tell you about them. So I've been playing a lot of the First Descendant this week. Update dropped. So Alpha in the story, he died. So the new Battle Pass outfit is this cool like military jacket that they all can wear, and it looks really good.
So you're telling me his coat survived, but he didn't?
Exactly. He got gravity squeezed in his coat
Damn.
out of it, but we got the coat back, and it looks really cool. And some new guns dropped. I haven't played either of the new guns yet. Glay got an update, so her character got reworked. And I've been playing her daughter here. Yes, the back half of her outfit is missing. She's pretty fun. I farmed her, and I've essentially finished the build for her, but I have I have to get like one of those ancestor mods, which are those modules I was showing you that you had to re-roll, and every time you re-roll, it becomes exponentially more expensive to roll them again. I found out why they did it, Meshi.
Oh yeah, why did they do it?
Okay. Well, this is a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
And you can player trade these.
Oh.
So you can trade them for gold or cash shop currency.
Oh, okay.
So they're pushing people to buy real money to buy the ancestor module with the roles that they want on it. So it incentivizes people to just play the game, to get a bunch of them and to sell them, while other people who, I don't know, have a job, just want to swipe their credit card for like $5 and buy one off of somebody else.
So what you're telling me is I gotta open up the pearl shop, baby.
Open up the Pearl Shop, baby. That's player power. But it's nice that you can buy it with gold. There's a problem though. So the person has to be online for you to make the trade.
Oh, okay.
There's a phone app or a website portal you can view all of them for sale, and you could try to click buy, except it's like, oh, the player's not online, check back later when they're online. It's like, oh. So this works a lot better if you say play with people and be like, oh my god, I got an ancestor mod for your character, and you can like trade it between each other, or like if you're friends and you just go to this little hub. It's in Albion. You just go to the little kiosk and like you can trade them, sell them, and whatnot. So I figured out that's why it's so expensive to re-roll them, because they want you to like either buy them or grind them and sell them yourself, and you can kind of like PoE trading, except like worse.
I
But
gotcha.
she's really fun. She has a little gravity orb that she shoots out, and it pulls all of the mobs to her, and then she takes her giant lance thing and just flies at them and hits everything.
So is she a melee champion? Does she use a
Yes.
gun?
She can, but her primary kit is all about using the giant space lance and gravity wells, I guess you would call them.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I like the idea of her giant lance with fucking what looks like rocket engines on it.
So that's the cool part. So the mobbing build, she just kind of gathers all of the mobs to her, and then she just dashes at them and runs through them with the lance. And I was like, where's the cool like drill, like whatever thing? That's her bossing build. So she has a descendant module. It's really cool. So you get this whole like she like leads back and the lance like opens up and starts spinning, and you could charge it, and then like you just like launch yourself through them. So the new boss is weak to ice. So that's kind of who I'm using to kill like the big boss with. So it's really fun because you're just like, and then you shoot like a rocket through them. She's really fun. She's really fun. And then she has an ability where she like puts out a lance, and you could charge it up and throw it, and it just like goes to them and just hits them for millions of damage. It stays in place while you like move in. It's kind of fun. So she's fun. She's not gonna be like better than like Serena or like Haley, but I'm liking these melee characters they're coming out with, because you have Harris, which is the girl with the robot arms who punches stuff. She's really fun, and I've liked Daya. I haven't done the story, so I don't know what's going on with unveiling the truth about her and her PTSD yet. I wanted to build her first and actually play her and like finish out her kit. So she's cool. So
Gotcha.
thumbs up to the Descendant people. And I wonder if I can find it. They've been releasing costumes, right? Because that's kind of what's keeping this game alive.
I literally thought you were gonna say they were releasing a statue of her.
No. The only one that I need is that Freyna statue. That's all I need. Shoot, I'm gonna see if I can find these. Don't think so. They've got these like retro, like they look like characters out of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Um, and they have like a disco dance and everything. It's kind of great. But that's essentially what's keeping this game alive. Is they release the costumes for people to buy and they get bought. Caught. I'm buying them because I like this game. It's fun. Um,
Single-handedly keeping the lights on.
it's you have to vote with your wallet, Meshi, and this is my comfort game. But now my comfort game has competition. Oh, I forgot to mention. I made her look like a Gantz character.
Wow, shocker.
Caught. I know. Um,
I mean, the top half already kind of was one, so
yeah. But essentially, this is the outfit, Meshi, and I've colored it just completely because there's like gray and black. I've made it all black so the blue lights really pop. So she just looks like a scantily clad Gantz
can
character.
I
So it's
be 100% honest?
yeah.
The skin on the right looks so much better than the skin on the left.
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. Like, and that's why I'm wearing it. I mean, it's great that the back half is also missing.
Yeah, but
But
it's
it
like
looks. This is how she looks when she's a boss character that you fight in like the Sigma sector.
it's so much better.
Yeah, as she's
The
jiggling
one on
around
the
the screen.
left keeps getting worse the more I look at it.
Yes, 1,000%, without a doubt. And yeah, I bought the premium costume because I was like, this one's better, and I can make it look more like a Gantz character. Um, you know, and it's kind of comical. It's kind of comical to me because the literal back half of her costume is literally just missing.
Yeah.
But there she is flying around. It's kind of great. That's just the regular thrust that you kind of just whee.
I mean, that does seem kind of like a little fun move, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just you gather up all the things with your little orb and you just run them through with the lance, and that's the one you throw out, and it just does a ton of damage because it's like go, 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 go.
Just reminds me of Gurren Lagann with the
Oh,
drills.
1,000%.
It's on a core drill. Ah!
So shout outs to them. Granted, the new boss is like the first like
God damn, look at those numbers.
it's a lot of numbers. She does millions of damage. I ended up doing a charge throw that the big one did like 20 million damage or some stupid shit. It was kind of great. So she's fun. I like her, and I'm gonna be playing more of that. I guess we'll just get into this. I played and beat Resident Evil 7 in one sitting. It's a game I've put off literally since like 2015 or whenever it came out.
Time for the trauma dump.
It felt better just doing it all in one. Thank God you called me out for being a coward and not just picking easy. Because that's allowed me to complete this game just in one sitting in like 6 hours.
Was it a better experience than the first time you tried it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, one is just that whole kitchen scene of like, where do I go as he's chasing me around the living room? It's like, oh, look on the table in the very corner on the other end of the house for a tiny key that you can't see. That's the progress point. And it's like, holy shit. But the rest of the game was a breeze, really, in terms of like navigating and finding like what to do next. Honestly, that was like the one hang up. And we also found out that he'll do donuts in the car if you don't find the car key on the desk, apparently. I guess everybody else just like finds the car key. I don't know how y'all do that.
I think what it was is that you did enough damage to him to trigger the next thing. I don't think anyone else fights him. I think they all go for the car.
And I was like, ah!
He just unloaded into his skull, yeah.
No, but overall, I enjoyed where the story ended up going. I didn't like where it started out. I was kind of bored, with this kind of gross Texas Chainsaw Massacre family with like wall herpes. Like it just wasn't doing anything for me really. But where the story kind of ended up going, finally, and everybody's like played this game at this point, right?
Yeah. So
I
while
like
you
that. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
while you were playing, did you know who the old grandma was that whole time, and you were just doing a bit, or
No,
oh,
I
okay,
didn't. I was doing a bit. Well, it was throwing me off. I was like, "You're suspicious. Something's off with you." Um, and it was really nice to get that twist at the end of like, "Oh, it's her," and that got me. That was kind of fun. I enjoyed that. Um, because I didn't know that was her at the whole time. But she was
yeah.
moving around. I was like, "Who's moving you? What are you doing here? Like, what?"
What are you doing? How are you getting up in these places?
And then it just that was a fun place to go. I didn't like that scene of like him like talking to Ethan or like save my family. It's like what you're dead. Like how are you talking? What's going on here? What is
I thought that was like a flashback from when like he gets knocked out.
was that what that was supposed to be when he's sitting down on the couch in normal and be like I feel bad. This isn't me.
Yeah,
Um
like you know how he goes, "Welcome to the family, son," and he like punches him in the face. Like I think between that and they have like a scene that he just
he
kind of
becomes
flashes back.
normal and sits here.
I
Uh
think so.
if like this part where like
Yeah,
everything's okay, like I didn't understand because Zoe's there,
yeah.
but yeah, that this part was I didn't understand what was going on here. I thought this was like, oh, he's a part of the consciousness now and he's reaching out to her. I guess if this was supposed to be a flashback that he didn't remember,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's how I interpret it. But I mean, I could be wrong. So,
Someone on
it's
the
been a
internet yell
while.
at us because I was confused and being like, what the fuck is this? And Meshi's like, it was a thing that happened in the past and I don't know what's happening. So but overall, I enjoyed the game. I kind of like the ending sequence. I goofed up the end by shooting all of my ammo into the giant monster, and it's like, now shoot it. And I was like, I'm out of ammo. um, but I'm glad it's over so I can play 8. Um, I don't,
I think
I
you'll
don't,
you'll have a better experience with 8, if I'm being honest.
I don't know if I'm gonna do the DLCs because I know there's the Chris one, and then there's uh the end of Zoe or whatever DLC. I don't know. If you want to see me play it, let me know. And then we'll go from there. But I have like a month to finish RE8. I think I can do it. I think I can pencil it in between my first Ascendant time and my World of Warcraft TBC anniversary time. Um, So if you didn't catch it, the last few episodes, I watched the Warcraft movie. It was fun making fun of all the lore they got wrong and just kind of the weird decisions they made for that movie. And then I was pressing Meshi for details on Midnight coming out, trying to get him to give me a reason to play it, and he's like, "There's none." And he's like, "Moving on." I was like, "No, keep going." But apparently this came out like 2 days ago, and I was like, oh yeah, TBC when my friend group for Classic fell apart and my guild fell apart because it merged with another guild and that ultimately didn't, come to any. Because that always works out really well when your guild's like, oh, we're going to join this other guild. It's like, oh, right.
Always,
Yeah.
always works out.
And I still remember TIE Fighter, if you're out there, that mother, he was so salty that
Meow!
I was out parsing him and he was the holy priest from the other guild, but I was doing better than him. Anyways,
Did they
sucks to suck,
do
I guess.
did they do this last year too?
I don't know. I stopped paying attention to WoW as soon as TBC Classic came out, and they ruined it with the boost and all of that other garbage, which they have subsequently done once again. Um, I'm just leveling from scratch. I don't feel like spending $40 to start playing the TBC like
Right,
questing.
enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's one of these things where like I'm just gonna play it as organically as I can, and just see like I'm gonna just play the game, interact with people, see if I can find a guild, and just kind of go from there. Like especially the people who are like boosting and like sprinting to the end, they're gonna run out of stuff to do anyways, and I I don't like sweaty raiding. Like I've done it. I have 99 parsed. I have been there. Like I don't really care that much. I want to get there eventually and then kind of just do it with a group that's like, oh, okay, let's just watch the fucking video and then follow along and then we'll just do the raid and like we'll do it next week. You know?
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe this time. Who knows where I don't know if I'll actually get to 70. We'll see. But what if I start playing arena and I start doing duos and I become the nastiest disciplined priest on the entire server?
I mean, you might. Everyone else is dead. Uh,
It's one of those things.
you never know.
I just got the itch for it, and then I found out like, oh, this is happening. So I'm level 11 right now.
I mean, your one character was full PvP out somehow. So, I mean, I can see you doing it on a priest and blacking out and coming the number one and not
I,
remembering it.
that was weird. I don't know. I think there was an event where you could like get like honor points and just purchase gear, and I think that was going into Wrath Classic happening or some shit.
Okay.
I don't remember. There was some reason I had all that PvP gear. I was freaking out because I thought my priests and everything was like got deleted, but it got kicked over like 3 servers. Like it started in Classic WoW and then got kicked over to TBC and then got kicked over to Wrath and then got kicked over to Mop Classic. Wait, Mop Classic happened, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, it would have been kicked over to Wrath to Kata Classic and then to Mont Classic.
I forgot about Kata. See, I dropped off completely, and that was your second expansion. That was your Burning Crusade.
Yeah, that was my Burning Crusade.
God,
See, because I found out about WoW like right around when Burning Crusade came out. Because I remember all like the trailers for like the flying mounts that came out. And I was like, oh, if only I could afford $15 a month. Oh well.
But it's been really nostalgic and just kind of going through the leveling thing. It's one of those things where like I enjoy classic leveling. I almost just like booted up like Turtle WoW or like one of those like totally legit private things.
Right.
But I was like, fuck it. Why not? Everybody's like, and apparently everybody's playing Burning Crusade Classic and they're just fucking like doing the terrible thing of like, oh, we're going to get in a group and we're going to run the same dungeon over and over and over again for EXP because it's better than questing. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like I watched like Stroud start drooling on his keyboard, being like, "Oh God, did we just wipe?" And it was like that happened like 3 seconds ago, and he's like in the graveyard. He's like, "Huh? What happened?" It's like holy shit. Like I get it. Like everybody's just trying to get to the point of starting to clear the raids and stuff, but if you play that way, you're just gonna like, I don't know, you gotta start raid logging. Unless you just want to like sit around and do stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, just jump around and
Shathrath?
Yeah.
Or whatever, however you call it. I don't know how to pronounce it. You're the lore expert. I showed up to WoW and I didn't know there was lore.
I learned how to pronounce it at one point and I was like, I'm still just gonna call it Shathrath.
Because no one else is gonna understand what I'm saying if I say it the other way, the correct way, because everyone else is
that city. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. But yeah, I only got to do you weren't there. Fuck. What tier of TBC rating was the guy in the desert area with all the impaled dragons and he had like a single eye and he was like a cyclops guy?
Oh, the Gruul?
Is that his name? I think it started with the G. Yeah, do you remember what tier of rating that was? Was that like tier 1?
Yeah, that was at the opening of TBC, I think, along with Mech Theridon's lair.
That's the fat dragon guy in the basement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I I did clear that. I cleared both of those back when TBC Classic happened, and then I stopped playing. Maybe things will be different. Maybe I'll see Black Temple this time. Maybe. Who knows? So if you like watching a boomer reminisce, and to be honest, I don't know how to play Burning Crusade, so it'll be a learning experience once I get there. I mean, I did the heroic dungeons and kept people with mental deficiencies alive through there, so maybe I might know what I'm doing, but it's been a while.
Honestly, I'm just amazed you can level a priest. Like, props to you.
Meshi, you have no idea. You didn't see it last night because today I got level 10 and I got a wand. We're online, baby. It's crazy. Mind Blast, Shadow Word Pain, cast Star Shards because it's no longer a channel spell, and we are chucking wand. Bro, mobs are burning down with 3 dots. It's crazy. Because it used to be the 9 elf racial spell Star Shard. You used to have to channel it, and there's no point to doing it because it was just less DPS than literally just wanding. But I guess they changed it now to where you cast it and it just costs nothing and does damage.
Huh.
So it's pretty awesome. And so we are wanding. And I've already got 2 talent points into. I think I've increased my wand damage by 10%. Bro, I got a machine gun, bro. A lesser magic machine gun. It's great.
I forgot they had one. Oh, yeah, good for you.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be like a little naughty priest, and maybe I'll go Shadow this time. I've never played Shadow. I literally just said, oh, well, I'm going to stay in Holy so I don't have to respec. And so I can just do dungeons when me and my friends come across them. It's time to go to Dead Mines, baby. And then, Nomer and all that other stuff. But it's been fun. It's been fun getting back to what WoW used to be, Meshi.
Wand.
Oh, man. I talk trash about your paladin fucking auto-attacking. When I get that wand going and you see 4 numbers at the same time, man, holy jeez. It's like, that's the ticket right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, just today, that music makes me nostalgic. So the Korean players have done a fan patch and kind of fixed some stuff in DNF Duel. This game was like 1 patch away from being great. There was a couple of things that were just kind of toxic, like Ranger putting you into infinite block stun and guard crushing and killing you off a combo. It's just little things that they just needed to change. So, this game still feels really good to press buttons in. It's a shame it went the way it did, and the people were like, where's my content? Dead game. And it was like, oh, crap. They weren't ready for this to be successful, were they? Because everybody wanted a fighting game to play, and it was $50 with rollback. I really like this game. It was fun. I was in the player room thing. I had 2,000 matches played. To put that in perspective, I think I have like 400 or 500 with Makoto, and I've in Blaze Blue, and I've been playing Blaze Blue since it like came out. Oh, Ghostblade, there he is. He's so cool. He's the coolest. Movie time. You remember getting shot with that?
Yeah, I remember everything. You know.
We see it in the intro every single time.
Shit.
But no, it was really fun and just kind of messing around and seeing what the changes were. Wish it didn't go the way it did. I really wish it.
Well, the Koreans will keep it alive for you.
Yeah, a little bit. So, speaking of older fighting games, so okay, conspiracy theory time. Hear me out. Let me get my string theory board thing going. Content creators have been making a bunch of DOA 6 content, including Street Fighter players like Smug. And people are just streaming playing DOA and making videos about DOA. I think a new DOA game's coming out. I think they have a creator content program, and I think people are getting paid to make stuff for this game to generate hype for it. That's what I think's happening. So one night, played just matches for like 2 hours straight. this from coming from playing like Tekken just because I love Kazuya so much, playing a 3D game that feels good to actually play is insane. Meshi,
Th-
this game is so fun. Just to press buttons in, even with characters you don't exactly know, it feels natural just to like punch kick and like down forward punch kick and like figure stuff out.
I mean, you are talking to the #1 free-to-play Bass champion, right?
There's only one
What?
original, and his name is the champ. Oh, Meshi, it was so fun getting to play Neo Tengu again. Even Tamaki with that little front kick. Rachel with that one combo I did where I punch you on the head and then I punch you on the head harder. Yeah, it's so much fun. Pick you up and bounce you off the ground like a volleyball. It's great. Oh,
Oh, D- DOA. This game was fun. I remember.
it's Meshi. I don't think you understand. It's so fun. I've been playing modern games and grinding them, and now going back to older games, like, fuck, this was actually fun. I've been sweating doing like putting the training dummy to block in Tekken and just practicing perfect electrics over and over and over again. Just to get mauled by some guy who like doesn't actually have like a pulse, who's just like rubbing his face on the fucking stick because he's plus on everything because Tekken is Tekken. Speaking
Yeah.
of Tekken, season 3 apparently is coming in March, and they're gonna refine and make it back to basics. So we'll see what that even means. But I think DOA is coming back, and I would kind of lose my mind. The only thing that would hold me back is if I don't get my Tengu lady. That's, I'd have to find a side huzzy for a little while and then go from there. You know who my side hussy would be, Meshi?
Who?
Ryu Hayabusa.
Yeah.
That hussy.
You just
But yeah,
wanna
that's
do
all.
those
That
fucking drops.
Ozuna drop. It's really hard to do with DOA, Meshi. Ha! I don't know, but I hope there's a new one coming. I need to show you a clip. Actually, hold on, let me pause this. All right. So that wraps it up. I played DNF, DOA, World of Warcraft, and First Ascendant. That's all the video game stuff I played. Meshi, what did you play this week?
So I went ahead and finished Dishonored 2 finally.
Oh my god, it's been like 3 weeks in the making. Oh my goodness,
I
who could have seen this coming? That's crazy. How'd it go?
Yeah. It went good. It was a very enjoyable game. I had a lot of fun with it. I actually, because I've played this game multiple times at this point,
Uh-huh.
years apart, but I did something in it that I've never done before accidentally, and
Okay.
it so at one point in the game, um, I love this mechanic and I wish it was used more.
Mhm.
You go to a mansion where you're trying to find this guy because you're trying to learn why the main bad person is invincible. You're like, well, what happened? It's like, oh, well, it happened at this
Yeah.
house years ago. You're gonna go there, and like the main magical dude pops up, and he's like, here's a device that will let you view the past. And basically, using the device, you can teleport to the past, um, while you're in this mansion, and you can teleport back and forth. So,
Mhm.
like, if there's obstacles to overcome, maybe in the future, that obstacle won't be there. Or in the past, you can make something happen that when you go back to the future, the path is open up or, a safe is unlocked or stuff like that. But the house is really run down in the future, and the guy that you want to talk to is kind of insane from what he witnesses in that house.
Yeah.
And so you can in the past interact with him, and I've always just either left him alone or killed him. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and it turns out he's not a bad dude. Like if you pay attention more to like the story and whatnot, you learn that he's actually trying to help people and trying to persuade the evil people not to be so evil. And then he kind of witnesses what happens and it drives him insane. And then he kind of blinks out of the picture.
Mhm.
Well, as it turns out, the only option I never thought about was just knocking him out that night. And
Mhm.
if you knock him out, he never goes to that ritual, which completely changes the future of that level.
Why didn't Messi think of that?
I know. So, like, it goes from a mansion that's run down, and it's got corpses everywhere, and there's dogs running around, and like there's these weird mosquito, the blood fly things. There's nests all over the place, and then the mansion's fine. There's just maids walking around, and there's people fixing up the mansion, and it looks all nice. And I was like, oh, well, this made it way more easier.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of interesting. I love the device where you blink back and forth in between future and present. Titanfall 2 did that um in one of their levels, and that was a lot of fun because Titanfall 2 is just running and sprinting and shooting, and so you're like playing an obstacle course and warping back in time and into the present
Mhm.
while you're trying to navigate and doing it really fast. It's really fun. I really like those mechanics and I wish they were done more. But after you knock him out in the future, he comes and he helps you. Uh, Nothing that truly impacts the story too much, but he's like, oh, it's like, oh, like he actually becomes an ally. That's really neat. I've never done that before. Like I knocked him out, and the game was like, oh, you saved this guy. I was like, I didn't know that was an achievement.
Huh? You
And then I
saved
got
that
the
guy's life.
yeah, I did save that guy's life by choking him out, David
Go to
Carradine
sleep.
style. And okay, so I have to admit something. You remember when I was describing Indiana Jones and I was like, Dr. Jones, protect your heart. And
Yes.
then the scene happened and it was a complete letdown.
Yes.
So I reached the scene of which it has my favorite line, and it was nowhere near as dramatic as I made it seem like it was.
It's almost like you play stuff up, Meshy. It's almost like that's where you put all of the enthusiasm in your life is into recreating your favorite moments are happening, but you pour like your heart and soul into it. So when it happens, it's not
Yeah.
cool as it was.
He doesn't ham it up. All he said, I mean, he does kind of do it, but it's not as nearly as bad as I made it. But basically says, "I'm more excited than any orgy I've ever been to." um, but no, the game was a lot of fun. The last level, uh, oh man, because usually I just run around and kill everybody, but this time I was like, I'm gonna be sneaky. I'm gonna be a ninja.
Sneaky little thing.
No one's gonna see me. And then randomly someone will turn around and be like, "Fuck!" I punch him in the face. I'm like, "Great, well, whatever." And then,
No, whatever.
no, but it's a very enjoyable game. It's got a lot of good stealth mechanics. It's nice that when you do something in the game, like make a guy completely no longer intelligent, the other people that he used to be allies with will comment on it and be like,
Like
"The fuck happened to this
idiot.
guy? What the hell's going on?"
Lukewarm IQ.
Yeah. So it was very enjoyable. I'm debating going back and playing the first one again for the umpteenth time. Um, but we'll see.
Those type of stuff. Well, that sounds like a pretty good recommend. You never know. There might be a point when old Scummy Boy might end up going through and playing Dishonored. I mean, I'm playing all types of stuff these days.
Yeah, I
Who would
highly
have thought?
recommend it. It's fun.
All right. So you played a little video game that
Yeah,
I've never heard of.
I've had this game on my wish list for a few months. And then it's still not out. They just released a demo for it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll play this because I've been looking, interested in it." Um, this game is King of the Dwarves, Under the Mountain, and Are you? I think they're called Dungeon Keeper. Are you ever familiar with those
Nope.
games? Some of them are old. Um, but basically, it's basically like a variation of that where you're mapping out sections of a mountain that your dwarves will then carve apart, and then there's usually resources in it, and then you use those resources to build up your little empire
Brought a
you've made.
cave troll.
So you go to the cover cathedral. You're mining gold, you're building breweries, you're just building like a little city. It's like
They
Sim City,
call
but
it
with
a
dwarves.
mine.
They call it a mine. Yeah. And
Mhm.
when I first played it, well, initially when I played it, I was like, oh, it's just one level of this area. I was like, that's not much of a mine. And then like the game was like, and now scroll down. I was like, oh,
I was like,
so
got it now. Uh-huh.
yeah. So like it's it's interesting to me. I didn't get to play all of the features because it's a demo, but like it's also kind of like confusing going down layers in like a um what's it like an not an RPG, RTS style where you're suddenly just having to descend layers and then like trying to keep up with everything on one layer or moving in between the layers to do stuff and keep up the mining. It's very not micromanaging, but it's very like you have to it keeps you occupied with stuff like, oh,
You're
I should
having to
have you guys
juggle multiple
mining.
tasks. You are
Yeah.
managing hundreds of dwarves, all
Yeah.
mining in different directions.
So it it has a lot of potential to hold my attention. Um, I didn't get to do any of the combat
Oh,
because I haven't dug deep enough. I've only played it for like maybe an hour and a half. But it would the problem I have is that when I go to try and make something like creative, like, oh, I'm gonna have this be my homes for the dwarves, and over here will be the brewery, and over here will be where they made food. And I'm like, instead of making like intricate halls and like really strategic things that make it look nice, I'm just like, just clear out this fucking whole area. Just make it into a parking lot. We'll just figure it out later.
pave everything.
Yeah. Then I'm like, I really hope I can go back and make this pretty because fuck, I just don't trying to do pretty and build
Efficient.
things at the same time is just it's just like, oh god, well I just put the storage thing over here. This is a terrible place for it, but it's down now. I don't know what to do about it. Um
Do you know that scene of Game of Thrones from the Battle of the Bastards where Jon Snow is being crushed to death because his whole army got surrounded and they're being pushed together?
oh, I don't think I'd know that one.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna make a reference to. It sounds like when I build a StarCraft fucking like base and I fuck up all the building placing, so all like the Marines and stuff get like spawned into areas they can't move, and they're just spawning on top of each other, just like because they can't get out.
Oh my god, that's so fucking
Oh,
oh, that's so
anyways.
relatable. Like the amount
Oh.
of times I've done that with other RTS games where I'm like, why can't you fucking leave this spot? What do you mean this is too close?
And they're like bumping, and they're like trying to get out. They're like, Oh man. So, well, look forward to. Oh my God, this announcement trail is 4 years ago.
Yeah. Put on my wish list for a while.
Yeah, well, hopefully they. Would you say you enjoyed it more or less than the one like survival? What was that Lord of the Rings dwarf game that we played that one time?
Oh, yeah, Return to Moria.
Did you enjoy that one more, or did you enjoy doing top down, controlling the dwarves, or did you enjoy surviving slowly and building stuff with your friends and
Oh man, that's tough because they're like two separate like whole
apples and oranges, dwarves
yeah,
and dwarves, right?
dwarves are dwarves. So just kind of how you feel like the one I played is more like a have a nice beverage, have a nice relaxing time and building a dwarven city.
Yes, mine in that
Direction.
direction.
Yeah. The other one is like, let's go fucking murder everything. Ha ha. So I'm To be honest, I haven't played the demo enough to make that determination.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. We only got a little sample taste, an hour and a half of his precious time. So maybe we'll get an update on that. But I think this is the first time in 30 episodes where you've talked about a fighting game you played, Meshi.
Possibly.
So you played Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, and you tried out Willness, the dragon chef man. How'd you like him?
Oh man. He his moves are so like impactful. Like everything is an explosion. Like that like the charge fist is just like this really big, but like everything feels like it fucking hurts when you hit them.
Yeah.
He is I know I say this a lot. A brick shit house. He is like a brick shit house built with another brick shit house on top of him. Like he's very similar in the way like Soares is, right? Where he's like flying across the room, he's hitting really tough, he's eating your health with with even like a mini combo, he's fucking devouring your health, right?
Yeah.
The problem with him is that stuff doesn't flow together as easily as Soares does. So like Soares, you could just chain whatever, right? Everything will hit no matter
It
what.
all works, baby. Yeah.
This guy is like, oh, you did a punch? Hold on. Now you can punch again.
Now link
So,
into the sweeping kick from this distance to get the Tatsu kick afterwards.
yeah, so he's just like everything. He's just so slow to do the follow up move. So like the basic is like, oh, go light, medium, heavy, right?
Yeah.
It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do that because you will do light, and then I will literally sit there and spam the shit out of medium, and it's like, no, you missed your timing.
Do you know what we call those, Meshi?
What is that?
It's called a link. It's not a chain. It's a link.
Oh, I see.
It's a very Street Fighter-esque thing where you're not canceling animations, you're waiting for an animation to finish to then press the button at the right time to link the next thing together.
I see.
I see.
That makes sense. It's far better and far easier to just link the same light rather than trying to do like light, medium, heavy. Like to switch to a different punch is you're just gonna miss it. At least initially when you're trying to play him.
Yeah.
Like the timing is so weird on him. Like he even feels slow to play, which is weird to me. Like you're like, I know I pushed that button, and he's like, well, hold on. Now push it.
And now push it.
It's but man, he does so much damage, and like all of his attacks are so cool. He has this weird like dash mechanic where instead of dashing, you push the dash button and like light, medium, heavy, and each one of those is a different move. So like the dash light is like a quick, like he swings his bottle out that's on his waist and he hits it with it. And that will destroy projectiles. Which is really cool. He's an anti-projectile. Unlike Soares, his DP, his medium and his heavy have armor on them. Which is nice. He's got a lot of he's got like 3 moves that are like they look very similar in their startup, but one is a low, and then one is like an overhead. I think he has 2 overheads and then 1 low. So you could do like a whole like mix up game with him, like, oh, which move is this one? Um, and the guy, unfortunately, the guy that I fought was that fucking guy that has the fucking counter. Like he just walks at you and he can counter anything. Um, oh,
Lwayne?
it's like bells or whatever. He looks like a femboy with the
Oh.
feather on his feather boa kind of stuff on his shoulders.
Oh yeah, you're Belial. Yeah, where he does the like the counter and he drops on top of you or whatever.
Yeah. So that was really annoying to be
Belial. Yeah,
the
sorry.
person that I was trying to fight initially. I ended up winning that set. So, I fucking came out on top. I
That's what
just
I'm
was
talking
like,
about,
all
baby.
right, I'm making this too complicated. Time for simple. Light, bam!
Bam! He has a rider kick in his dragon form.
Yeah, he has a fucking rider kick. It was so cool. I did it to him once. I like fucking
Talking
like
about, baby.
he's a lot of fun, but man, he's so vastly different from Suarez. Like it's gonna take a really long time to get used to him because I'm just so used to this game where like everything flows into everything else. And in this game, I like have to slow down and get used to being slow.
I
And that's
love
kind
this
of really hard to
uppercut.
do.
Whatever this is, whatever anti-air move this is, I love this upswing. It's a little bit just bonk.
That's his DP, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh, he looks cool.
Yeah, and it turns out like when we watched this trailer initially, however long ago it was, he's actually a really good chef. We made the joke about him being like a dragon that just wanted to be a chef and was terrible at it. It turns out he's a really good chef. Like his ending animation is making food when he wins. And it looks really great.
Just like Jam. Oh! She makes fried rice.
And his opening move is so cool. He steps out of this like big red portal, like with a big old slam, like that. Like the sound effects for him are just so great. He just did such a good job with just the sound effects and just like feeling.
Are you excited for him to be in the Grand Blue Relink expansion coming out?
Is he?
Yeah, he's going to be playable in it.
Oh god damn it. You may have to pick between him and Suarez?
Yes, Meshi.
No.
Or you could play them both.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna
you
have
just have
to
to build 2 characters. Because I mean, I bought him originally because I like chef characters and whatnot, and you're making me want to like actually give him a shot and try him out.
I would. He's oh man, it's so his moves are so impactful. Like the punch is just it's like a fucking explosion every time. You're like, why aren't you dead? I hit you with this.
You should literally be a mist of blood right now.
So his blue knee move that he does, will send the player, if he makes contact, will send them to the other side of the screen. It's a corner to corner. He then slow walks up for you.
Yeah, it's just automatically just in there where he actually does. Where is it? I think it's before the super.
Like I remember watching this trailer, I was like, "Oh, that's really neat." They fucking he just kind of slow walks into the scene. No, he fucking does that.
Cinema, and then struts in.
Yeah, I laughed so hard because the move before I did that was the move that I actually found out this on was that character I was fighting did his counter walk where he does his little strut, right? And then if you don't hit him, he goes into the now you can hit me stage where he's like, oh, you don't want to play or whatever.
Shrug your shoulders.
I did that knee to him, and then my character just slowly strutted the same way back up to him. I was like, oh yeah, that felt great, didn't it?
Oh, that's good stuff.
And then,
Mhm.
like, what? Because eventually I was like, okay, I could kind of figure out. I started to learn when he was going to try and do that counter move.
Mhm.
I did one of your things where you're like, oh, now he's going to do it. Um, and I ended up just jumping behind him by accident, and then he was doing his thing, and I just slow strutted after him, walking behind him, like 'cause he's just his strut is so great. It's
Uh-huh.
and I just grabbed him and threw him into a wall. Uh, if I can figure out this character, he's gonna be super fun. Um, it's just having to slow down is very tough in a game where you're like everything is so fast.
Yeah, and Suarez could just be like, "I'm gonna punch you, I'm gonna kick you, up kick you, machine gun punch you."
Yeah. Da, da,
Champ.
champ.
Just remembered you were just like, "Oh, light DP, medium DP, EX DP, blue DP." What are you doing? I wasn't ready for it, but he was
Yeah.
just.
It was just it's oh man. Cause that's just too fun. Like I know it's stupid and it's not going to work, but it's
that
just
that
so fun.
that's what made it work. Because I was like, he's not gonna do it again, is he? Champ. Oh man, that warms my heart. I'm glad to hear that you had fun with the wilderness.
Also, I don't think you have to spend money on the characters.
Oh,
In the store, you could buy a character. I don't know if you can because I didn't see. I saw it
they're
after I bought this character.
they're on rotation. So there's Grand, and then there's multiple characters who are free for an X amount of time, and they rotate in and out.
Well, in the in-game store, you could buy like they're the fish lady with the dagger knife. She's like 36,000 gold, or you could spend $8 on her or whatever it is.
Oh, you can buy them with in-game currency?
Yeah, and I found that after I'd spent my currency on outfits for the guy, and I was like, I don't have enough money to see if this is actually I could buy the character with gold. Oh no!
That's
Oh,
funny. I didn't know that.
neither did I. I don't know when they added it, or if that's always been there. They've just been really quiet about it. You know how everyone has weapons that you can change. You know, like Percy's
Yeah.
baseball bat and stuff.
Mhm. Ping, ping,
So
ping, 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 ping,
he
ping.
has two chef knives on his back, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You want to guess what his weapon is?
It's just like a spatula?
You're right. It's his apron. His weapon cage is his apron.
You're right. It's his apron. Oh my fucking god. I thought he was gonna have dumb like chef tools and
Yeah, I
stuff.
thought so too. And it turned out it was his apron this whole time.
Oh, that's good. Oh man, I'm gonna have to try him out, and I bought what's her face, the Earth close-eyed girl. I'm gonna have to try her out also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's our gaming portion of the podcast. It only took us like an hour to catch up on our weeks of everything that we played. Um, Now we're gonna transition into the movie section podcast, where Meshi single-handedly contributed to making Markiplier cry. Meshi, how was Iron Lung?
Oh man. Um I'm not going to spoil anything because I
Okay.
think this movie I'm gonna take Markiplier out of it, right? I think this movie is worth experiencing before I try and like describe what was going on or like the just overall. I didn't even see the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer. I know about the game, but I didn't know a lot about the game. I knew the basic concept of it. I've never actually seen the game played out. This movie was better than I expected it to be.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Cuz to his credit, if he was going to make a movie, he could have gone with like a slasher genre, like all the fucking like Popeye and Mickey or whatever, and
Yeah.
made some dumb thing for less of a budget just to try and make a movie, right? But he
Mhm.
went for cosmic horror, which is in itself really fucking hard to do because
Yeah.
you either end up explaining too much
Yeah.
which then it's like dumb and like ugh. Or you're explaining so little that nobody gives a fuck because they're like, "Oh, you have no idea what you wanted to do, so that's why you explained nothing." Um, but cosmic horror also needs that mystery aspect where you're like, you spend the end of the movie pondering over stuff that happened in it.
Hmm.
Which this movie does. There's oh man. There's there's a lot of great scenes in this movie, like visual effects wise.
Hmm.
Like, I think this movie visual effects wise was far better than I thought it could be. Like, I don't know who they got to do the visual effects, but I was like, Stranger Things can learn a thing or two from you guys.
Damn.
um,
Woo. Yeah.
it looks good.
It
Like
looks
for an
good.
indie horror movie. Now, granted, it has Markiplier money behind it, but like
Meshi, we're talking $3 million.
I didn't know the budget. Um,
That's it.
I could tell you where most of that budget went.
Like that's literally it. Like he self-funded a movie, and that's the budget that went into it. It's just that.
Um, so
Mhm.
no, I'm not going to say this was the perfect movie. It's not perfect,
Mhm.
but you and I have watched a lot of fucking terrible horror movies.
Mhm.
This is not one of them. There are some parts where it's like the opening scene hooks you. It's good.
Gets you.
And then you see Markiplier, and then you're spending 5 to 10 minutes going, okay, I need to get out of my head. Hello, it's Markiplier. The welcome to Iron Lung. That sort of like mentality, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's really hard to ignore the fact that you're Markiplier. It took a while.
Mhm.
Um especially because I keep expecting him to make like a dumb joke, or like the things that he does. It would be like if hanging out with you and then suddenly you're like, hey, go watch this movie, I'm in it, and you're like a serious cop, like fighting crime, and I'd just be like, when's he gonna make a feet joke or suck on them toes over there? Like,
Well, I'm glad you said that because okay, I want to cue you into something, Meshi.
okay.
I didn't know who the fuck Markiplier was till Royan talked about him one time, and I said, "Who is that?" And he was like, "What?" So I might not have, because I know a lot of people have seen him on the interwebs talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have that. I don't have the time invested in him. I don't really know him. So I think that disconnect is going to be there for me, and I might be able, because the best recommendation that you could have said was, I don't want to spoil this. I'm not going to talk about it. I think you should just experience it. I think that's the highest praise you could give like a piece of media. It's like, I'm just gonna say I liked it, and you should probably watch it. I'm not gonna talk about it. But that is funny, and I'm in this weird space of like, I was absent from the internet for like 10 years because I was living life. So a lot of these internet people, I don't know who the fuck they are.
You know what? That's fair. I will say, like,
Mhm.
if I was going to trust a random YouTuber on the internet with a horror movie, it would be Markiplier,
It'd be that guy.
because for like I don't know how many years he has just been solely playing like horror games, like
Mhm.
all the random indie horror games, like nonstop. That's kind of like his main content. So if I was going to expect anyone to make a good one, it would probably be him. Um, if budget was no question.
Mhm.
That being said, this movie is 2 hours long. I There are some things I wish there are some things I feel like could have made it better, but at the same time I feel like maybe they thought about it and then decided, no, that's not how we want it to be in the movie, kind
Mhm.
of. Because there's a because it's supposed to be him, in this space, and like all these weird things are happening, or like all
Mhm.
this mysterious stuff is going on around, or he's in like a weird kind of thing. And like one weird thing happens, you're like, ah, okay, the weird's gonna start happening, and it's a pretty good weird thing. Um, but then like more of that doesn't start happening for a very long time. So there's a gap, and there's some scenes where I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is when like a jump scare is gonna happen, or something's gonna, you know, crawl at him, or whatever, and then it
Mhm.
doesn't, and it's like, was he is he faking me out? Like, does he
Yeah, is
know
he
that I
is
know
he
that right now?
he's keeping you on the edge of your seat the whole time. He's just waiting
Yeah.
for like just keep it just everybody's waiting. Wait.
He's
I,
waiting for me to unclench. Uh,
I'm that this conversation in and of itself is making me more interested to watch this because I was glad to hear that it was successful, and I'm glad that he was able to do something creative and it ended up doing well. Um, but the way you're talking about it now, especially a slow burn, you know me, Twin Peaks.
yeah. Oh man,
uh,
this slow burn. So I'm kind of conflicted because while I was watching it, I was like, this part is taking quite a while.
mhm.
I don't know how long it lasted because obviously I'm not paying attention to the time, but I was like, part of me is like, I get what he's going for. He's trying to showcase and let you know, like, hey, this guy is experiencing a lot of shit right now, and it's taking forever, and he just wants to leave and he can't. And so you're kind of going on him with, instead of like
With
a
him,
regular movie which would like do like a quick montage of it. He's
yeah.
like, no, you're coming with me.
Yeah,
Uh
no, you're suffering with me throughout this whole thing, you know.
yeah. So it
Mm.
gets to that point, and then and put it, I'm not like I'm bored. I'm just like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it starts.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's been a really long time since I have been like locked in from, like, it started and it just kept going
And
and
you were just like,
going. And I was like, oh my God. Like like I'm not being like, oh my God, this is amazing, the best thing I've ever seen. But it's like I'm engaged. Like I'm like, okay, we're getting to the weird stuff now. And then it just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. And then you're like, oh, that was a weird way to end a movie. Like, here's the ending. That feels unsatisfactory. And then it's like, then you hear the roller coaster going, and then you're like, ah! As it just kicks off again, and you're just like, it was that I don't even know how long that experience lasted because it felt like a majority of the movie. Um,
it had every single bit
yeah,
of your attention, and you can't tell how much time actually had passed as you went on the movie
yeah,
happening. That, you know, this might
it,
be some of the best praise I've heard from you from like a movie. Just
yeah.
pleasantly surprised and just
I was
um
pleasantly surprised because cosmic horror is just hard to get right to where you feel satisfied at the end, but not even
mhm.
satisfied, like satisfied in the way that you're like thinking about all the things that you saw, and you're like pondering, like, does it mean this or does it mean that? Like, who are these people? Like,
Mhm.
it makes you want to think about it rather than just being like, that sucked. I didn't get anything.
No, that, that wasn't even cosmic.
Oh.
That was as cosmic as a brownie.
um but like there's some bad things about it, like
Mhm.
the pacing, it depends on who you are. There's scenes where it's kind of it's kind of hard to tell what's going on because of the lighting. Obviously, it's very dark in what he's in, and so it was very difficult to tell what exactly was happening, and the camera was like super close on his character,
Mhm.
to like, you know, amp up the moment of like, oh, panic and fear and all this other stuff, but it also made it kind of hard to tell what was going on. It could have also been the cheap ass theater that I was in. You know, whatever. At least the sound was good. um I could have used I'm not going to make that comment because I want to watch it again. Um,
Well, I think Meshi. Well, I now actually want to watch this film. So I think I think next week, I think we're gonna have a big spoiler cast and kind of walk through the movie and talk about it and go for. Oh, see, you saw it in a rinky-dink theater. Josh
yeah,
saw it in the IMAX. You know.
there wasn't an IMAX near me. That's that's just I I would have. That's interesting. I want to know. See, this is for now. I'm like, I want to go watch it in IMAX because there's so many pictures that get taken in there, and I just there's not enough time to analyze all of the pictures that are shown, where I'm just like, did I miss something? Was there something weird in the background that the character didn't notice but I was supposed to notice? And I'm like sitting there like, there's too many, and I was having a Scum Twin Peaks moment where I was trying to read between every single fucking line, and then I was sitting there like, this is how
Yeah,
Scum feels.
boy. Let's go.
But no,
I'm talking about.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a solid B, if not slightly higher.
And that's kind of big coming from an indie first out of the gate. Okay, I'm gonna do this. That's really cool to hear. All right, well, tune back in next week. We're gonna talk about this film because now I want to watch. Is there a? Can you watch this online at this point?
As far as I know, it's out of theaters this weekend, unless it gets an extension, and then he's talking about how to get it to other people. Um, I oh, I will say one thing. So I was walking out of the theater. Oh, there are actually two things, really quick. So,
Mhm.
what is the one thing in a movie theater that ruins a movie?
People talking.
People fucking talking. I when I walked into that theater, there was one other group of people, and I was like, ah, perfect, because there's like two people. And then I sat
Mhm.
down, and then as the trailers are going through, more people walked in.
Oh fuck!
There was a
And
group
you're
of,
like,
I was like, ah, fuck my life, because it was 6 teenagers, all with popcorn and soda, and they went to the top. And then there was two, um, there was two women,
mhm.
older women that came in and they sat kind of behind us. I think there might have been three. And so I'm sitting there watching these trailers, and the women are like, "Oh, girl, hand me that fucking candy."
Oh fuck!
And I was like, "No, no." It's like, "Damn,
No.
you right. These Skittles were what we were supposed to get." Mm-mm. And then they were snacking up, and like, this sounds like I'm making a character up. This happened, and
Yeah.
I have the worst theater luck ever. Predators, when that came out,
Uh huh.
there was 9 drunk people in the front row screaming at the Predator. And I know they were drunk because when I walked past their aisle, they left all their Coronas, empty Corona bottles. And they were just screaming, "Oh shit, Morpheus, look out, the Predator's there!" And I was just like, how? How am I this
It's
unlucky with
unlucky.
theaters?
Yeah.
I've been in, like, every time I go to the theater, someone's on their phone. Someone has to look at Facebook in front of me and like scroll through their phone with their bright ass thing. Like, I just have the worst luck.
There's luck.
Thor Dark World is the funniest fucking experience. I haven't told you about this. Can I tell you about this?
Tell me about it.
Okay. I went with my brother-in-law and his friend. His friend was in the military. He had just gotten out. He did not give a fuck about anybody. Praise be that guy. We went to go see Thor: Dark World in the theater, and we were sitting there watching it, and the movie was going on, and these young adults
Mhm.
were sitting in the theater. There was like 4 or 5 of them, 3 boys and a couple girls. Um, and the boy would not shut the fuck up. I don't even know if he was talking about the movie, but he was talking to his friend. He was
Mhm.
talking about the movie, whatever. My my brother-in-law's friend stands up and goes, "Hey, shut the fuck up!" And the guy was like, "Make me." He's like, "Mm." And so they both sit down, and he's like, "Hey, man, you finished with your drink?" And my brother-in-law had snuck in a Dr. Pepper bottle, like
Uh-huh.
one of those
Yeah.
20-ounce ones. He's like, "Yeah, man." It was about half full still. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, whatever." He grabbed it and fucking chucked it at the back of that kid's head. And it hit him, and it made the loudest thunk noise, and the kid stood up. It was like, "What the fuck?" And the guy sitting directly behind him, who was not associated
Yeah.
with him, stood up and said, "You deserve that. Now get the fuck out." And everyone in the theater cheered as those fucking kids left. And then we watched Thor: Dark World.
Uh-huh.
Those kids ended up waiting outside of the theater exit door, like in the parking lot area
Mhm.
for, well, not for me, but for them
Mhm.
to leave. And he saw them out of the glass door, and he's like, "Watch this." And so he walked out, and those kids saw him because he's a big fucking military guy, and it
Yeah.
was dark in that theater. I don't think they
Yeah.
realized who they were fucking with. He walked out, and they went, "Oh."
Oh.
And they were like, and he pulled out a cigarette, and one of the kids was like, "Hey, man, you mind if I bum one off of you?" And he looked at him, he said, "Fuck off, pussy," and then he just walked to his car. And
Oh.
I was like, that movie, I completely forgot about that experience until now. It just all came flooding back.
Mhm.
Sorry, going back to the present, those kids were talking throughout the whole theaters, the whole
Mhm.
trailer.
Mhm.
That movie started like they were everyone was mid sentence. The moment the narrator started talking about that movie, it was fucking silent.
Oh.
It was silent the whole movie. I've never experienced anything like that.
That's awesome. Just shut everybody. Everybody was just locked in. You know, those kids are probably there from the interwebs, and they were like there for the Markiplier movie, and they just shut the fuck up as soon as it started.
And when we were walking out of the theater, and I was overhearing those kids discussing about the movie, and one guy was like, "Well, I liked it, yeah." And then the other kid was like, "But it didn't explain anything. I feel like I just got edged for 2 hours." I wanted to be like, you just don't understand. Like that was
Oh
the
my god.
point.
Meshi, oh my god. It's like every single time we watch a fucking movie together and you don't get it. You know what it's like to be me.
I was experiencing pure scummism that night.
It's what I live for. I love it. And you're dating DeVito just I get it. Oh, well done, Markiplier. You literally hit Meshi with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the perspective gun. Finally did it. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I'm excited to watch this movie now. Um,
Yeah.
my expectations are tempered for a indie film and whatnot, but I am excited to watch. So we're gonna talk about it next week. It's gonna be great. Um. So I watched a little film that came out on the Netflix Meshy
Yeah.
called The Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and that guy from Walking Dead who gets his head caved in.
Oh yeah, that's who I recognize that guy.
Yeah. I'll see you on the other side. Sorry, that was really sad when it happened.
I can
Okay,
tell.
so this movie was called The Rip.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like R.I.P.D. You know, that dumb movie with like Ryan Reynolds or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is referring to an event where uh, officers will find a money stash and not report all of it, and they'll take some for themselves, and that's what's deemed a rip. This movie was 2 hours long, in the worst way.
Was this
Um,
based off of the Keanu Reeves movie that we watched? Because that felt similar to that description.
what Keanu Reeves movie did we watch?
You will remember it because you watched it for the opening scene. Konnichiwa.
Oh, yeah, kind of like. Yeah, okay, I completely forgot about that movie. Yes, it's like that, but like on a small scale. The entire budget went to paying Matt Damon and Ben Affleck to be in this movie because it takes place in a house.
That's it?
Yeah, it's like it's in a house, and then towards the climax, they get on the road and they have like a chase scene. Like it takes place in a precinct. They go to the house where all this money is, and they have to start counting it. And it becomes like this whole mystery of like, wait a minute, is somebody setting us up? Are dirty cops aware who's snitching? Because like Matt Damon's leading this group in this house, and like, oh my god, there's like like fucking I forgot how much, like $20 million in this house, and it all becomes this really suspenseful thing of like, was that drive-by? Was that the cartel? Was that so-and-so? It's like, oh no, the cartel's got nothing to do with this. This is actually might be an inside job. Who has a burner phone? Who's talking to who? And then people start not trusting each other with all this money that's on the line. It's like, wait a minute, you want to make out with all this money, don't you? And like, it's the problem with it is they had a good thing going. You start seeing the Netflix-isms happen where if you don't know, when you're making a Netflix thing, certain things have to be explained multiple times and said to where they have this whole algorithm thing made to where they're making a movie for you to watch if you're not looking at the screen.
Gotcha.
So they have to explain things multiple times, possibly in a row, to ensure that it meets their standard of if someone's not looking at the screen, they'll be able to follow everything that's happening. So it drags on a little too long in the tooth with some of it, and they over-explain too much, where it would have been better left as a suspenseful, like, oh my god, is Matt Damon gonna shoot Ben Affleck or the other way around or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's this whole premise is built upon who's a dirty cop and who's not. And it ultimately is kind of baby spoon fed to you, and you're kind of like, this isn't satisfying at all. um Overall, I enjoyed the film. It just explained a little too much. There is some twisting going on at the end that you actually can't see going, but a lot of it's kind of like you should have left a little bit. You could have cut some of this out to just leave the tension there, because it's kind of like, fuck, like it's a lot of money. um so I didn't hate it. Also, the amount of swearing in this film it's almost kind of over the top. Because it starts out with like they're trying to like establish like this unit and these like cops being cops together, and it's just like fuckity fuck fuck fucker fuck 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 pussy fuck 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 fuck. So I get what they're going for. Overall, I enjoyed it. It was just a little too long in the tooth. It also has the dad from Friday Night Lights, full eyes, full gut, can't lose or whatever. No, wait, hold on. Four eyes, full gut, can't lose. Cleveland show. Good reference. um, so yeah, I didn't hate it. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. I wish they just wouldn't have given as much away as they did. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get
Yeah.
it.
it was the inverse of like 2 hours being too long because you didn't have the material that would sustain something like that happening. Like, okay, you said this for the fifth time now, as your two characters are saying it back to each other again. Okay, we get it.
There's $2 million here. $2 million. Yes, there's $2 million here. 2 million. 2 million.
Oh man, it's yeah. So that's it for the rip. Star-studded cast. They all did kind of what they needed to do, and it was enjoyable to. I just like Ben Affleck. Can you sue me? I like Ben Affleck.
Why
I
would I
don't.
want to sue you? Or
I don't like the Batman voice modulator sound effect. It was a little too intense for my taste during the Zack Snyder joints, but I liked him as Bruce. I did.
yeah,
Is
I mean,
that an unpopular take?
no, I don't think so. I think a lot of people like Ben Affleck.
He's
At
got
least I
the
think they do.
smoker fucking like the hole in the neck talk as he's Batman. Right? Because he's distorting his voice because they're trying to make it real. Whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
let me get off my soapbox, okay? I'll step back. Some call it nitpicking, some call it scummisms. Okay, so you watched a movie with Bruce motherfucking Willis called Hudson Hawk. I'd never heard of this film.
Oh my god, I forgot about this. Oh fuck. I was talking about Markiplier so much that um this movie, so I watched Wild Wild West, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the following week my friend was like, "Well, everyone liked Wild Wild West. This is a movie that is very similar to Wild Wild West in its comedy kind of wackiness." And we were like, "Okay, sure, let's watch it."
Oh God.
This movie was not that. Holy shit. I don't even know how to describe this to you. This is a movie that wanted to be like 20 different things. It wanted to be a buddy cop movie. It wanted to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It wanted to be a Die Hard movie. It wanted to be a comedy Looney Tunes movie. Like there's so much. It wanted to be a fucking James Bond movie. Like it wanted to be so many different things that it just failed so terribly at it because there was where it was like, oh, it's time to take us super seriously, and then like the equivalent of a bomb cigar goes off in someone's face, and they're like, huh! But they live, kind of thing. So Hudson Hawk is a cat burglar who's like the best at what he does, and then he gets set up and he gets thrown in prison. That's what's the opening thing is him getting out. He's been in there for like 14 years. And you find out immediately that his parole officer is corrupt. He's like, I want you to do one last job and then you're out. You just have to steal something. And then the very stereotypical mob guys that he used to work for, who are also working with parole officer, are like, hey, you need to steal this for us. And he's like, look, if I wanted to talk to somebody stupid, I'd talk to your brother. He's like, yeah, you talk to me.
Yeah.
And then he looks at him. He's like, shut up, you. And he's like, okay. And then his Bruce Willis's buddy cop friend, whose name I can't even remember, is standing behind him with a full champagne bottle. And he just smashes it on the guy's head. And he's like, you guys get the fuck out of here. And the guy's like, he just gets knocked out cold. They're like, oh, why I oughta. And they like grab his friend, Three Stooges, out of the bar.
Yeah.
There's an ongoing gag where Bruce Willis gets he's been craving a cappuccino for 14 years with like foam and whatever, all stuff. And every time he goes to sip it, something goes bad. The first time he goes to sip it, he's in a car. He has a little Starbucks cup, and the guy hits the brakes, and it goes everywhere. This scene, he goes to drink it, and the mob shoots it with a silenced pistol as their way of getting him to come to their table. Like every time, it's like, oh, this is going to be an ongoing gag where he can't get his cappuccino. Something more and more stupid goes on. They agree to rob the whatever place it is that has this statue. they're talking all about these songs, which are they say a song name, they say how long it is. They say a song name, they say how long it is. And that's his way of keeping a timer that you find out in this robbery is they go, "Oh, we only have 5 minutes and 13 seconds to figure before the cops notice that the camera are switched." And they're like, "Okay." So they both start singing a song at the same pace, and that's like their thing. That's how they keep track of time. He's like, while you were out, they invented a watch. He's like, ah, and then they start singing. Um, and it's
Okay.
so they're singing as loud as possible as they're going through these halls while these security guards are like within earshot of them. They're in this
Mhm.
giant echoey hall. And they steal it, and then the security guards around the corner. It it's so like I can't even describe this whole movie because it's just such a bizarre dream. Like he ends up he ends up being captured by the mob, and they go in the ambulance after they knock him out, and then he gets out by shoving hypodermic needles into one of the mobsters face, and he just has them on his face, and so they throw him out on the whatever the rolly cart thing is, a stretcher.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so he's holding on for dear life onto the by a sheet, and he's being driven through traffic, and these guys in the ambulance are like, "Oh, oh." And then the ambulance hits something, and it flips, and it blows up, and he comes to a perfect stop and randomly in front of the James Bond super spy team who are they're called the candy bars. Um, the guy is a silent mute and communicates by handing people business cards. So Bruce Willis like slowly breaks on his stretcher. He stops in the perfect place where these guys have set up camp. Somehow, he hands him a card, and he reads it. He goes, "No, you're not dreaming. This is real." And I was like, "Oh, okay. There's a whole dream sequence." No, he punches him in the face. He gets off the stretcher, and then the rest of the team arrive, and they're like, "I'm Payday, I'm Snickers, I'm blah 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 blah," and like this big wrestler dude steps out
Mhm.
of the porta potty and closes his shirt in the door, and then tries to move away, and then it topples on top of him and rips his shirt, and then he stands up and he's like, "And I'm Butterfingers." And Bruce Willis just looks at him. He's like, "Yeah, I get that." And
Yeah.
and then the main lady's like, "And we're the candy bars." And she's like, "That's our code names for this mission." Uh and I hope you really like that. Can you imagine we used to be named after venereal diseases. Can you imagine working for 3 years being known as chlamydia? And and Bruce Willis gets off his stretcher and meets the main CIA bad guy, and he's like,
Huh?
I'm the one that set you up. That's why you were in jail, and then we broke you out so that you could steal, or we bringing you to our main bad guy people." And he's like, "I'm not going." He's like, "Oh, yes, you are. Hey, what's that?" And Bruce Willis looks up, and he like punches him in the jaw, and then he perfectly falls into a peanut packing box that's Bruce Willis size, and then but he didn't notice that it was there before when he walked in. He gets shipped to France. No, he gets shipped to Italy, where we meet the main bad guys, who are the most uncharismatic like, when you're like, when they make bad guys, they're like, we want them to be super evil and super quirky, and
Mhm.
like they're so evil that you hate them, but you love them because they're so charismatic, because they're so weird and quirky, like a Doctor Evil kind of stuff. Like he's
Yeah.
evil, but he's also really funny. That's what they're trying here with a husband wife combo, and it just doesn't land, and they're just so fucking annoying every time they talk. They're like, "Oh, aren't we dastardly evil?" Ha, and then the woman cracks. It's like that shit. And
Yeah.
they tie Bruce Willis up, and he's handcuffed with to a Simon Says. That's what locks it, and that's what unlocks it. That never comes to play into the movie, and he gets constantly handcuffed by this thing.
This sounds like
So fast forward to the end. Oh, hold on. I have to tell you this joke. This was the worst joke I've ever heard. So the Catholic priests have their own CIA equivalent organization. That's what the woman is, the main lover. She's a nun, but Bruce Willis doesn't know that. She brings him to his apartment with his friend, his buddy friend, and they're both on the couch, and Bruce Willis is trying to get some. And he's like, "Hey, you sleep on the couch." And he's like, "Why? What are you gonna do?" He's like, "Watch me." And he goes over to the girl, and he's trying to convince her to go to bed with him. But there's no doors because it's a one-person apartment, so you could just see directly to the bed from the couch. So his friend is just peering over the couch like the weirdest cuck I've ever seen. And Bruce Willis is trying to get it on with this woman, but the woman's like, "Oh, nope. Not happening," because she's a nun, but Bruce Willis doesn't know that. Outside, the candy bars are in their car with Butterfinger. And he's like, "What are they doing? What's taking so long?" And Butterfinger goes, and I'm not going to say the word. He goes, "Do you want me to go inside and R them?"
Jesus Christ.
And then they're like, "No, just read your book." And he's like, "I do not like green eggs in it."
Holy fuck.
The very end of this movie, I can't. There's not even half the weird shit that's in this movie. Bruce Willis's best friend in life, gets trapped in the back of a limo and is driven off a cliff. It's very clear that he goes over the cliffside in this limo. There's a shot of him and then the thing, and then he falls and it explodes. I actually take 2 steps back. That happened, but Bruce Willis is fighting the old CIA guy who's dressed up as like Guile from the Street Fighter movie.
Okay.
And he's like kicking Bruce Willis in the face and then like punching him in the gut. So Bruce Willis is he punching him in the gut, so he bends over in like an L shape, and then he kicks him in the face, so he shoots back up. And he does this like 3 times, and then Bruce Willis just stands there going L shape back up, L shape back up, L shape back up, like without even being touched. And the guy's just looking at him weird, and it's making like a clicking noise, like a as he's doing it. And Bruce Willis just looks at the camera and he's like, "I can't stop. I don't know what's going on." Anyway, so we cut back to his friend dying. He's like, "Oh my god, my friend died." And then the end of the movie is him sitting with the girl at the cafe and finally getting his latte, and he goes to drink it, and his friend shows up, and he's covered in soot, and his hair is all fringed, and he's like, "Hey man, I survived." And he's like, "What do you mean you survived? We saw you go over the cliff, you exploded." He was like, "Yeah, I know, right? It must have been the airbags." And they both look at each other like, "Yeah, that makes sense. It must have been the airbags." And then Bruce Willis drinks his cappuccino and then throws the cup behind him, and the movie ends. My friend then told me, "Oh, they did a test screening of this movie where the friend dies and nobody liked it. So they shot that scene just to show that the friend lived." I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
This movie was awful. And there are no words to describe the absolute bonkers that this movie was. It was a very painful and bad experience.
Well, you took the Hudson Hawk bullet for the both of us. I didn't even know this movie ever existed.
Neither did I. I had respect for Bruce Willis.
Not
I don't
anymore,
know.
you don't.
Not anymore. I don't.
So we're just gonna keep the bad times rolling. Um, I watched possibly the worst film I have ever seen in my entire life. I watched Tekken 2, Kazuya's Revenge.
Oh my god. Is
All
this a
right.
sequel from that one Tekken movie we watched, or completely independent?
This is a prequel.
Oh my god! What?
Okay, when you look at this man here, do you see Doria?
No, I do not. I
This is
see like
Kazuya.
store clerk. What? No, this is a man that works at a
This is
supermarket.
Kazuya.
Okay,
Meshi.
I believe you.
This movie was, I think, an hour 40, hour 50. 90% of the movie, he is called K. He doesn't know his name.
Oh god. Do you know who he is? Like, or do you?
Yes.
Or is it okay? I was about to say, is it supposed to be like a mystery? Oh,
The
he's K.
movie is called, okay, the movie is called Kazuya's Revenge.
Oh, that's
Meshi.
fair. Yeah. Okay, that was a dead giveaway. I didn't even read the title.
Meshi, that guy doesn't look like Kazuya.
Nope.
Terry Tagawa doesn't look like Heihachi except for the wooden sandals.
That is such a weird outfit.
It's the Yakuza suit with the fucking whatever these fucking wooden clogs are called.
Yeah. He doesn't even have
Okay,
hair.
so Kazuya has amnesia this entire movie.
Okay.
It keeps flashing back to Heihachi saying pain. And it's rambling on into random other things, like Kazuya's like hearing things that he heard from someone he doesn't know exist. He's like, I think I'm sorry to remember stuff. And you just keep hearing Terry Kagawa keep saying, pain. Oh my god, I'm sorry. No one saw any of this. This movie was shot with like a camcorder and no budget. Okay, you see this, whatever's happening here
Yeah.
doesn't fucking happen.
What?
That's
Okay.
just a flashback of whatever. Most of this movie looks like this. And he's just talking and talking to random people. This movie had no budget. Okay. So this whole like starting scene of like you see guns going off and whatnot, and like people's like heads on pikes and stuff,
Yeah.
is like a 30-second like voiceover thing of some guy who doesn't speak very good English talking about the end of the world and Tekken City and people living in poverty outside the walls of Tekken City. And then it cuts to this bozo here who rules the slums with his failed porn actress, lollipop schoolgirl, and his other terrible looking women. Who he's the mastermind supposedly. He speaks very bad English. You can hardly understand him, and he's trying to tell Kazuya that he has to fight because he rules the slum area, and he implants Kazuya with a bomb in his chest, and he has to do fights for him, and do assassination missions, and he has badly choreographed fights in the middle of random areas that go on for like 5 minutes, and these are the camera angles that are used. He will do a jumping, spinning back kick and barely get off the ground. Most of the movie is him talking to people in rooms.
But can he wave dash?
He does not waivu a single time. This isn't even June that he's making out with because my goodness. This scene it ultimately culminates in the big bad, or this is the slumlord. He's paired up with a girl. Not even, this is his roommate. But where's the other girl? I don't know. He's paired up with this girl, and they have to do assassination missions for the guy who speaks terrible fucking English, and he's got like a skullet. And eventually they meet a guy who got excommunicated from their slum group, and they just walk into this room after not killing that guy, and they're like, well, we'll kill him. So she stands behind him and stabs him in the neck, and he dies.
And that's the end of the slumlord.
Yeah. And then Kazuya goes to the Heihachi compound. Oh, they did have a stripper scene. I think that's where all the budget that they had went to paying these two ladies with terrible boob jobs. And then Kazuya, starting to remember things, goes to the Heihachi compound and doesn't even fight Terry Takawa. He just what's his actual name? I'm so sorry, Shang Tsung. Thousand apologies. Having to fact check. Never mind. Terry Takawa. Okay, I'm saying it right. Okay. He fights his two goons in a room. Okay, this is the most absurd thing. Okay. So he's an assassin. He's an assassin for the slumlord guy. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put you up in an apartment that you're gonna share with somebody, so we can keep tabs on you, and we'll call you when we need you." He ends up falling in love with this girl, I guess, and they fuck one time, and then she cuts a tiny bomb out of his chest that they're holding him hostage with. So then she gets captured and brought to Heihachi's fucking white building room, and Kazi goes to fight to save her. Kari Takawa, Heihachi, says, "Oh, hey," kisses the girl that he just slept with, and then she falls over dead. In this weird, incestuous family cucking moment. And then Kari Takawa just leaves, and he's like, "You'll have your shot to fight me at some point. Let me click away at my wooden clogs," as he fights his two goons. The entire movie, they don't even call him Kazuya until the very end. And Kari Takawa's like, "You are Kazuya Mishima, and I am Heihachi Mishima. I'm gonna kiss your girl." She falls over dead. "I'm leaving now, goodbye," and leaves. This was possibly the worst thing I have ever seen.
Is it better or worse than the first one that we watched?
Worse.
Oh my god.
By a multitude of probably 10. I shit you not.
Jesus Christ.
I would rather watch the first Tekken movie 10 times than watch this one again.
Damn.
It's like the worst soap opera acting with even worse dialogue, and half the people can't even actually speak English well.
That's fair.
It was shot like a porno parody with no porn. That's trying to be a serious kung fu martial arts movie with one guy who got a blue belt when he was 5. I didn't think it could get worse, Meshi. This is probably the worst fighting game movie that has ever been made. It genuinely shocked me at actually how bad it was. It has nothing to do with Tekken. This movie might as well have been something else, and then they put Kazuya and Heihachi's names at the end of the movie. He doesn't remember anything, so they just call him K, because the slumlord's like, "I'd name my people after the alphabet. Your letter K." That's the conversation that happens. Like, that's not hyperbole. That's just all that happened. We're at the letter K. You're K now. You work for me. K? Like, not him, Meshi. It's not him. I just don't understand who is like in charge of like, okay, let's adapt it, because at least the first Tekken movie, they had an Iron Fist tournament. Okay, they had one. You know, somehow this had even less to do with Tekken than that. I know you don't know anything about Tekken, Meshi. I know you don't, except for you watched me play the 8 story mode. Okay.
Yeah.
So Heihachi is the father of Kazuya, right?
Right.
Heihachi had sex with a lady who had the devil gene, and he ended up giving, Kazuya ended up getting like his devil form because his mom had some devil gene in her. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Heihachi snapped her neck like a popsicle stick.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped Kazuya off a cliff. Okay?
Yeah. I've seen the animated cartoon.
Yep. So you're with me that far. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is this wonderful woman, Jun Kazama, right?
Yes.
And she is your, soft-spoken, gentle Japanese woman who looks at this damaged, severely traumatized man and says, I can fix him. And she does. Then that woman subsequently gets killed, and Kazuya loses the only good thing that's ever happened in his life and the one person that he loves. Okay?
Okay.
from that trauma bonding and fixing of that poor damaged man, Jin Kazama was born. Okay?
Yep.
Okay? This is a woman that Kazuya loves more than anything. It's the only thing he's ever loved. In the Tekken movie, Kazuya literally sexually assaults June, doesn't care about her, and then Jin is a product of sexual violence.
I see.
Do you see the disconnect in like how do you take this moment and turn it into this?
Yeah.
So that's where the first Tekken movie was like a sin upon the world, because it's like you mischaracterized a tragic protagonist into a terrible person who's then you showcase having sex with sisters Anna and fucking Nina Williams. But at least that movie had more to do with the Tekken than this one did.
Nah,
This
okay,
was,
that's saying something.
this was just guy talk, like literally walking around this area and talking to like, wow, it sucks being poor.
Like it's like a
Yeah.
movie that they had and they were like, it's gonna be so unpopular. What if we just slapped Tekken 2 on it?
Yeah, that's what it felt like, because none of it has anything to do with Tekken other than the intro where they talk about Tekken City, and then this movie happens, which nothing actually happens. And okay, yeah. So I think this is probably the worst thing I've ever seen. And we've watched a lot of garbage.
Yeah, we have.
Whew. All right, well, to get to some more fun stuff, Meshi, did you ever see Clash of the Titans?
I did a very long time ago.
I watched Clash of the Titans. I saw it way back in the day. About to sneeze. I held it back because I'm a man, and I push things down, just like all of my emotions.
This is not the one with Liam Neeson. This is the other one, right?
No, this is the one with Liam Neeson as Zeus in the shiny, sparkly silver armor.
Oh, okay.
This movie held up.
Did it?
This was a fun watch. Yeah, the special effects and everything held up fairly well for the time. And it was just a fun watch. All the actors were doing their thing. It was just a fun watch. It was a little fast paced, but there's a lot to go on. Perseus has to, go see the old witch ladies, and he has to go chop off Medusa's head, and he has to fight these giant scorpions in the desert. And you know. Um, it was just a fun movie. It was just enjoyable to watch. I like mythology and that kind of stuff. Liam Neeson in the silver armor, it was a little over the top because it's so bright. There's so much lens flare, like being generated just by him. Um, but I like Liam as Zeus, right? Because there's a scene that talks about how did Perseus become, well, how that happened. Oh, well, he disguised himself as the king of this one fucking, kingdom, and he fucked his wife. And then Liam Neeson stares out over his bare shoulder at him like, and that's like, yeah, that's Zeus.
Yeah, that's Zeus. Man would turn into a goose to fuck a woman.
No, Christ. But yeah, this whole movie is just Perseus' journey to collect a bunch of stuff so he could then subsequently save a city by being destroyed by the Kraken. And while Hades is double crossing Zeus, it was just a fun what I've just been playing WoW, and I put this on because I remember this as a kid, like back in 2010, I think, 16 years ago. So for the most part, it held up.
I was like, oh, that's not too bad. It was 16.
Just 16 years ago, Meshi. So that's really all I have to say about that one. It was fun. I watched these out of order. I pulled a Meshi. I accidentally started with Wrath of the Titans. So I watched them in reverse order. This one wasn't as good. Because one, it doesn't have Mad Mikkels in it. I forgot to mention that in the first movie. Mad Mikkels was in it, and everything Mad Mikkels is in is he's just great. He's just a wonderful actor. Is there any bad role Mad Mikkels has ever had, Meshi?
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen him in a bad role. Who did he
He's
play
just
in the first one?
he played just one of the soldier guys who wants to smirk at the gods. The only time he's gonna smile is when he gets to spit in the face of the gods.
Oh,
He's the
gotcha.
main soldier guy that goes with Perseus from the kingdom or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's not a huge role or anything, but he's just
It's a
great.
support. Yeah.
Yeah. And he gets his moment of he distracts Medusa just long enough and he gets a smirk at her as he drops a fucking he drops a stone pillar thing and he rides it down and stabs her in the tail. What a way to go out. And he goes out smirking, being turned to stone. This movie started the special effects are better. It has 20 less minutes to work with, so the movie's essentially an hour and 20. So the breakneck speed at which this movie moves is you hardly have any time for any they go to Tartarus for God's sake. The maze, place.
Yeah.
They're hardly in there. They get in there and then he fights a minotaur with a hair lip and then they're out. And this kind of suffers from a little bit of oh, we need to make a sequel, right?
Yeah.
And then they get a little bit too trying to make jokes for the audience, where they're trying to have these moments of just it's almost like Marvel humor. It's just blockbuster joke for everybody to get. Where in the first movie, you have he plays the old guy in Game of Thrones. I'm trying to think of anything else he's been in. He was in that vampire movie on the ship. That one time he's the old guy who goes crazy.
Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about.
If you know, so he has a line. He's one of the soldiers who goes with Perseus, and he's asking, he's like, "Hey, we're going, and there's a highly chance we're gonna die and whatnot." And then he's like, I never liked the city anyways. And that's funny. But it's in character of the time. A lot of this is looking at the camera and being making fun of this one guy's name who's nicknamed the Navigator. And they go back to this bit every single time. And they're like, yeah, I'm great. I have a name, the Navigator. And it's all right, we're just going to beat this dead horse a few times. And yeah. So I don't know. The first movie is really good. I'd recommend that one. This one was fine. I think it was a step down from the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, most of the time, most of the time sequels usually are. So I'm not very surprised to hear that. I am surprised to hear that the first one held up, which is good because
Yeah. Yeah, it's the special effects, especially in both of these films. I was expecting to be like, "Yeesh, this looks is hard to look at." It was like, "Oh no, this like blends in very well." Especially with this film where he's fighting some what are the fucking things with the snake tails and can fucking breathe fire and they're like have a lion body, chimera.
oh yeah, the Chimera, yes.
I don't know if there's a scene of him fighting one. He fights one in a desert at the beginning of the movie. It holds up like really well. That thing, like this all looks serviceable for being like 2012. Um, it you're not pulled out of it by the special effects. Um,
Did the scene between Hades and Zeus teaming up at the end to like battle hold up?
yeah, like for the most part, like whenever like Hades finally like saves Zeus and then like gives him a little bit of life and Zeus like creates the barrier to like stop the wave from like killing both of them and whatnot. No part of this movie like did I feel like spoiled necessarily. It just wasn't that great. Like I'd give it like a 6 or a 7. It was fine. It was nothing was exactly offensive other than like the blockbuster jokes that I was just kind of like, all right, like we got humor in the first one that paid off better than this one that you're trying to like spoon feed to people to like make them happy in the movie. Where
There's
do
a
we go from here? Hmm?
there's another one that came out around the same time that has a similar name that I can't fucking remember.
The Immortals? Are you talking about the one with Henry Cavill?
Yeah, I think it was that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. I think Zack Snyder directed it, so I think visually I'd like to see it, but I've never watched it before. So, um, I have seen. Okay, so Clash of the Titans I never saw Wrath of the Titans. So when I was watching Wrath of the Titans, I was like, I don't remember any of this. I don't think I've seen this movie. and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. This is the second movie. I saw Clash of the Titans and then watched that one. I was like, oh, this is much better. Just a little stuff.
It's just little things.
All right. Meshi, how familiar are you with RoboCop?
I'm pretty familiar with it. Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. I've seen this movie once before. So I don't have a big affinity for it. I was born in the 90s, not the 80s, so I don't really care about RoboCop. There's like a cutoff for where like I really like RoboCop and Alien and stuff. Or Aliens, and then you're like a 90s kid and there's a disconnect, right?
Right.
Where I don't really care about Arnold. Like Arnold to me is Turbo
Terminator.
Man and Mr. Freeze.
Oh, gotcha.
Boomers know him from like Raw Deal and Commando. So I don't really give a shit about RoboCop. Meshi, I should have given a shit about RoboCop. Most of the cast of Twin Peaks is in RoboCop.
God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah! Laura is one of the main bad dudes. So, Laura's father, Mr. Palmer, is at the end of the movie when he drops all the beams or the girders onto RoboCop, and he's like, I got him! And the girl has the giant gun and shoots him, blows him up mid-sentence. Cinema. So there's so many characters. There's the FBI guy that's like, try doing it next time without dragging your knuckles. He's the smarmy come up guy. The Twin Peaks is here, Meshi, and I should have cared.
Yeah, you should have cared.
This movie's so over the top and fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. Like this whole Alex Murphy like getting shot scene before Red Foreman finally shoots him in the head is just absurd. I see where all the personality and like why this became a cult classic. Um, you know, it was just over the top and kind of dumb. But it was enjoyable to watch. It was very much a commentary on, you know, the meddling in foreign affairs from the US while trying to gain profit from, perpetuating the war machine while, business people are trying to get their own like deals to go through so they can then become rich. A lot of behind the scenes stuff with over the top silly violence happening. Um RoboCop shoots a guy in the dick. That's really funny.
It's really funny. Um, it's funny that you bring up that scene. Um, there is, I don't know if it's a fan thing because the actual RoboCop is in it and it's very well done. I say very well done. It's really rated R well done. Um, they make fun of the scene where he shoots that guy in the dick.
Uh-huh.
It's just a montage of RoboCop shooting people in the dick. But they are, you see everything.
Oh my god.
It's just a mob after mob of people with like flaccid wieners being blown up by RoboCop.
That's so stupid. Okay. So let's talk about this the beginning of this film, all right? So it opens up at this board meeting, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, like we put these out here and then we'll gain a military contract to have these Ed.29s out, fighting all of our fights and whatnot, and we'll make all this money, blah 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 blah. Let's test it out. Okay, let's show what it's all about. All right, ex-board member asshole, pick up a gun and you can watch it engage." And it's like, "Oh wow, look it's aiming at me, it's telling me to put it down, or 20 seconds comply, that's crazy." Puts down the gun and the countdown keeps going. He's like, "Wait a minute." And I was like, oh, okay, this is where they're building the tension, right? And it's gonna be like the last second they're gonna pull the plug and the guy's gonna be like, "Oh thank god." It's like, oh, we got a lot of things to work out. Ed 209 just fucking shoots this guy into fucking spaghetti sauce.
He
Just
amazes.
empties the clip and he's laying there and he's still getting shot, and all the board members are staying perfectly still, and it's like, ah, as this guy is just getting shot and turned into meat sauce. Bolognese, if you will. And just just the corporate scummy terribleness of like, god damn it. You don't get that much time with Alex Murphy, really. He kind of just gets on the job, right? And then subsequently his partner's like, fuck it, we're going in because we can't wait for backup, because they say backup's still not available because Detroit's this terrible place in this, setting that's trying to be rebuilt. I mean, Detroit is kind of a really rough place if you've ever been. And him and his partner go in and they get separated. She holds up a guy who's taking a piss and somehow he gets a drop on her, kicks her off a ledge. Which is just kind of like, oh Jesus Christ, like you weren't ready for this. And then poor Alex Murphy just gets fucking shot to hell. And they recover the body. Somehow he lived after his arm gets blown off, and then he just gets shot to fucking Swiss cheese. And then Red Foreman shoots him in the head to put all on, whatever, the icing on the cake. They somehow still recover the body, and he's still somehow clinging onto life because he is that pissed. and then there's a scene of like, then they start putting him through like the whole like, changing him into RoboCop, and they're like, we were able to save the one hand that he has, and the Twin Peaks agent guy is like, nah, take it off. and so they put him back under anesthesia, and they off screen take off his arm, and you get this cool like first person view of him like experiencing being woken up over and over again as they're finishing everything, and then subsequently walking him out and having the celebration of completing it. And you don't get to see it. You see like a mirror to like the left, and you get a tiny glimpse of him. And then you have this cool ass reveal of him walking into the police department, and everybody sees him for the first time. And it's a really cool kind of shot of like leading up to like you don't know what he's gonna look like. I mean, we've all seen the cover, but in the context of the movie, it's a cool reveal, honestly. Um, this movie just had a lot of heart. Does that make sense? It's like they had a lot of passion for making this goofy, over the top, silly thing happen.
They really wanted to make their idea come true.
And they did, man. They really did. And it made for some iconic moments, and it made, for fuck's sake, the giant Ed 209 falls over and starts squealing like a pig. Like, that's a sound effect that comes out of this giant robot when it falls downstairs. It got bested by stairs, and it falls over. It starts squealing like a pig. Whenever it's engaging in combat, it snarls like a tiger. You know, it's so over the top and whatever. Like, I understand why people have an affinity for this movie. I do, because there's people from Twin Peaks in it, and Mr. Palmer got blown up with a fucking anti-tank gun. Do you have any other thoughts on RoboCop, Meshi?
I can tell you a funny fact.
Yeah, hit me with a funny fact.
So, you know, in all the scenes when he gets into cars, right?
Yeah.
It's only from the waist up.
Yes.
The suit is too bulky to get into a car. Like, they couldn't modify the cars enough for him to be full bodied, so he's just like in his underwear.
Just that's pretty awesome. Oh, and that reminds me of another thing. So this whole thing, he finally wakes up, and he's like, he has part of Murphy's memory, right? He's not fully there. Like, after he undergoes this whole thing, like, his family essentially thinks he's dead, and he's not fully aware that he actually is Alex Murphy. He's kind of like this separate, new created being that is aware of Alex Murphy's existence as a person. So when he ends up finding out, like, oh, what happened to what happened to Mrs. Murphy and the kid? Like, oh, they moved on. Like, they thought you were dead. He's like, oh, okay. And he doesn't have any feelings about it because he's detached from it. Because he's just this, cyborg McMinn, right?
Right.
And it's kind of this tragic story of what happened to this cop and ultimately what ends up happening to him. And he becomes RoboCop. It had a lot of earnestness in it. It really went for it when it went for it. And I like a tragic character. Sue me. There's a running theme. I like tragedy. There's something endearing about it. So that's going to lead us into, I watched the remake of RoboCop for the first time. I've never seen this movie before. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, based on basically like the internet like shitting its pants, right?
Right.
But I understand why they did. One, it's trying to take itself very, very seriously, and it's almost like they went for like the Christopher Nolan take of like, oh, we're going to do a superhero movie, but we're going to play it as straight as we possibly can in the real world. But we're going to take out all the violence and we're going to make it PG-13. And then we're going to make it about this guy and his family, where he's hyper aware that he is Alex Murphy and he wants to get back to his family, and the struggles that come with being a pair of lungs and a head, and they somehow saved just the hand, Meshi. Is a very weird choice, because in the first movie they're just like, oh, the hand? No, just take it off. Just remove it. We don't need it. It's not even the full arm, Meshi. It's just the hand.
Yeah, just a little hand. I remember the scene where they like unfold him.
Which is one of the it was a pretty good scene of body horror, of just like, unveiling all of it, and for PG-13, like getting to see him just be like a pair of lungs and whatnot, and just like the quote unquote horror of that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just one of these things where it didn't have the heart. And also then they tongue in cheek like, oh, let's change the color. Let's make him tactical, make him black. So they give him a paint job.
Let's get tactical Marines.
You know. And then to play into like the old campy like RoboCop voice or whatever, they like dampen his dopamine and they make him like not feel anything. Then he starts talking like the original RoboCop. I could see why everybody was pissed. I didn't really hate this movie, but I didn't care about it at all because it just, the closest reference we got was like this crude humor in the original movie, which was this TV show of this weird guy just like doing like sexual things and saying, I'd buy that for $1 to the screen, and all the characters like all the mobsters and whatnot are just like, ha ha ha, I buy that for $1, ha ha, like watching TV, like watching shitty like food, right? Or eating shitty food. This movie referenced that line with a test going on between Alex Murphy and the actual robots, and they're like putting them side by side, saying like, this is why Alex Murphy is shit, because like my robots operate better. And the fucking guy who's in charge of the whole like robot unit is just like, I wouldn't buy that for $1, and it's like, okay. Like, that's as close as you're getting to the original film, was like a bad incarnate. That's essentially like Jill from Welcome to Raccoon City grabbing the sandwich and saying, now this is a Jill sandwich. You missed the point.
I don't remember that at all. I
We're
know
gonna
they did.
We're going to rewatch it, Beshi. We're going to rewatch it.
No, I don't remember the I wouldn't buy that for $1 line. I thought they added a I would buy that for $1 line. I don't remember the reverse.
It was something. It was close to the equivalent. It's during
Yeah.
that scene where he says that, and it's just like,
I mean, I believe it.
yeah. It's either like he's pointing to his robot saying I'd buy that for $1, or pointing at Alex Murphy's test scores and saying I wouldn't buy that for $1. It's something like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was just kind of a nothing. Samuel L. Jackson was in it. I was kind of surprised. He plays the
seller dude,
no, he plays
media
the
head guy, right?
Yeah, the media head, the Fox Newscaster-esque guy who's cutting people off and not letting them talk. Which is pretty great. Okay, we're gonna finish things up. Unless you had something else to say.
No.
Okay. I watched this movie called Death Name. It's about this girl. She is a Korean American, first generation here. No. Yeah, first generation here. Her parents moved here. So she's got the name Sophie? Susie? Something with an S. I don't know. And the grandma's like, don't say your Korean name. Don't say it. You don't have it. You don't get to know about it. Don't say it.
Okay.
And whenever she starts getting closer to her Korean identity, the wall has a gross anus gland thing that drips on her. She starts seeing weird stuff.
So, sorry, when you mean getting closer to Korean identity, like, oh, I think I'm going to go have pot noodle today? Or do you mean like trying to figure out her name?
She goes to college and attends, the classes are full, and she starts going to a Korean history class. She meets people who are actually like a friend group that, well, they become friends eventually. A group of Korean friends, and she's like, oh, I'm also Korean. And one of the guys tries to awkwardly hit on her while inviting her to the friend group. But he's nice and unattractive. So the closer she's getting to her actual Korean heritage, that the grandma doesn't want her to even like, don't even worry about it. You don't have a Korean name. We named you this. But the thing is, the grandma's got dementia, so she has these clear moments of like, don't do it. And then she's also mixed with like, being
Butterscotch.
old and detrimental. This movie isn't very well acted. And eventually she meets this guy at college. And she brings him home for holiday or something. And they're sitting down for dinner. And the grandma sees he brings a gift. And grandma opens it and freaks the fuck out. And starts, get away from her. She doesn't belong to you. What? And she's freaking out. They're like, oh, she's having an episode. You and your friend, go for a walk. Go outside. We're going to handle grandma. And so then they have this moment of she's crying outside and being like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know she was this bad. He's like, it's okay. It's fine. I didn't realize bringing something from the old country, which is what a box of berries, was going to traumatize her. I'm so sorry. And then she ends up finding out actually what her Korean name is. And she's like, I'm embarrassed. I can't even say it. I don't know if I'll say it right. Can you just say it what's for me? He's like, no. You say it. It's like, something's off with this guy. Why are you getting so hell-bent on her saying her own name? And she ends up saying it, and then he starts haunting her. And guess what, Meshi?
What? It's a demon, her father.
Yes, this guy is the demon. You got it, Meshi.
Yeah.
And he's haunting the whole family lineage because 2 generations ago, the woman he was dating or was like a fiance to or whatever in old-timey Korea cheated on him and left him for some other guy. And he killed himself and was so unhappy that he's decided to haunt the whole family lineage, trying to kill every single girl in their entire family and trying to coax them into committing the self side. So the grandma watched her mother hang herself from a closet. The grandma's in the closet. She watches her mother hang herself and the pearls drop. And then the creepy ghost man looks at the grandma and says, I'm coming for the baby, which is the protagonist's mother. But then he ends up haunting the protagonist. This movie's not great. This is all in English, by the way. With a lot of actors who don't I wouldn't say it's the fact that they can't speak English. They all speak English very well. The material that they're given isn't great, and they're also not very good actors. Like these moments between the main girl and the grandma struggling just to even like say the words, let alone be genuine about it. It's just not great. That's all I gotta say about Death Day. It wasn't a good Korean horror movie. It was just kind of
Huh. So it wasn't even like badly dubbed. It was them doing.
Yeah, it was them doing the lines, and it was fine. Like they, for the most part, like you could understand the grandma. It just didn't come across as she's a very good actor. It's almost like they found these people to play the characters, but they're not really actors. It's almost like, remember that they found that one guy to play Han Solo in the Solo movie, but he also wasn't really a good actor. But he looked like Han Solo, but he couldn't act his way out of a paper bag.
Yes,
it's kind of like that situation where like we need a family about Korean immigrants and a Korean family moving to the United States and this Korean girl going to college. So we got Korean people, but they can't act. So it just kind of
Makes it
Death in
more
movie.
authentic.
Yeah. So I think that's where we're gonna cut the podcast. So thank you for joining us, everybody, and we'll see y'all next week with a in-depth
So,
chat
sorry,
about what, Beshi?
I've interrupted you, and I apologize, but you didn't talk about the one movie that you watched where it's like, "How's it hanging today, Frank?"
It's a couple of funny jokes out of context that really make sense.
Oh, okay.
We've been going for 2.5 hours, and then I wanted to do the tier list of Resident Evil after
Well,
this.
all right, we'll cut this part out where I interrupt you and start again and go.
We'll see y'all next week when we talk about Iron Lung. Thank you, Meshi. Oh, boy.